Tonight, we are getting a glimpse into the war against fentanyl.
Officials say they seized more than 6,700 pounds of the synthetic opioid.
So from my experience, when somebody overdoses on fentanyl, they'll drop very soon after they've used. They may not even know that they took what they took.
With fentanyl being so dangerous, the awareness, the kids don't know what they're getting into. Do they know?
You know, you can't experiment. There's no room for experiment now. And experimenting is part of growing up for a lot of kids.
Right. That's true.
And now, that would be the deadliest mistake that you could ever make. There's no do-over with this. It's a wonder to me that so many people use together, but they're often found alone. Most often they're found alone. And so if you're using with someone and you're in an overdose situation, they're leaving. They're not even calling 911. And that's something I would impress upon youth. You know, if you think someone is in an overdose situation, don't leave them. Most of our states have Good Samaritan laws. Call 911. It's a moment that changes lives forever, and not just one person. Entire families are devastated.
For the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, little homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you've been through, shit you had to go tend to. Your mama gave birth on the turf. I
was the founder. I created Conan Parker in my mother's garage.
I had a lot of, lifting weights, and I was on swole. They start calling me Big Miz.
Original Stutter Box, Eastside 5, who's Pebble on Bishop, Mill City Gangsta Bloods.
Kev Mac video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac video, open your soul.
This is only the beginning.
That's why we have to flood awareness and prevention as much as possible, right? Just the education. The education has to be there. They have to know what they're getting themselves involved with. They got to know that it's not an overdose, it's a poison. They got to know it's not laced. You know, like you're going to get, if you're getting a pill off the street and it is not from a doctor, it is 100% a pressed pill. And you can't even tell the difference between them. You know, you can't even taste the difference between them. There's other ways of, I guess, harm reduction you go. But from what we know, from what we understand, from what we see nationwide, the best we could do is just keep talking about this and keep flooding it and keep getting information out. If no one knows about it, please reach out to us. We'll help you get the information that you need.
What type of person would be prescribed legal fentanyl?
That's a great question, because so many times I think there's a huge misconception to a lot of Americans, because they turn the TV on, they see a report about young people dying from fentanyl, and the graphics that are shown are these prescription fentanyl from hospitals. And so I think a lot of people still think we're talking about a prescription medicine, and they don't know that it's counterfeit. It's coming from the cartels. And so, there are two types of fentanyl, prescription and then illicit fentanyl. And prescribed fentanyl would be someone that's in a cancer situation or suffering from a lot of pain at end of life. I'm not a doctor. I don't know all the uses for prescription fentanyl, but certainly that's not where our concern is now. It is illicit fentanyl.
Yeah, 100% it's illicit fentanyl. I think, like I said, with the terminology and what we're using and how we're describing it is why people aren't really up to date with what's going on. You know, people hearing fentanyl, well, like the regular fentanyl is when you would go maybe a car accident or really heavy surgery. Like it's not the cartel are changing the medical compound of it. Like they're changing the analogs to it. And every time, there's a new one coming out, like they're experimenting with our children to find the best possible one that can get you addicted and keep you addicted. But until they do that, they have no problem with someone dying every 5 minutes.
And there's over 4,000 of these precursors. And so you could ban one, and there are so many more to choose from. So we really have to look at our national security in the United States. We do not hear that China has a fentanyl problem, even though this is where it's coming from. And we know that Canada has a very bad fentanyl problem. And and the United States. So we really have to look at what we're allowing to happen in the United States. I think that we've become this. There was a point that we could have attacked this and been more successful and saved a lot of lives, and now we've become complicit, and the magnitude of death is just spiraling, and we're participating in this now. There's a point where we've become criminal, not stopping this from coming into our country. So we really need to look at who is leading drug prevention and safety for Americans in the United States, and we need to be loud about this. We need to protect young people. They need to be the most important again, and we need in-person, in-your-face youth drug prevention. We need to save their lives.
Mike, you're originally from Brooklyn, New York?
Yes, sir.
Are you on a nationwide campaign?
So Andrea and I are doing a nationwide, sweep as people start to see our approach in this. We're not the DARE program, right? We're not telling you kids not to do drugs. It just doesn't work. What we're doing is we're bringing our lived experience, the losses that we endured, and we're allowing people to hear that passion, hear that pain, but also show because of that, we don't want this to happen to your child. We don't want this to happen to your family member. So that's why we're so adamant, and that's why we don't care where it is. It could be a room with 2 kids or it could be a school of 50,000. We're going to go there to spread the message because one life does matter. You save one life. You have no idea what that one life would go on and do. And everyone's life matters. I'm a man of God, so I'm created in His image. We're all created in His image. So mercy triumphs judgment. We need to give each other a little more mercy. We need to stop judging somebody because of maybe the lifestyle they're living. Because something's not your problem until it becomes your problem. And then when it becomes your problem, you wonder why nothing was done about the problem. So help us become part of the solution by helping you become part of the solution with us and get in contact with us and find out how you can spread awareness and how you get into your community and how you can help your community and how you can save these kids' lives because these kids are our future. And the way it looks right now, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to see what's going on and not as many people jumping on board with this.
Mike, you changed your life around. What led up to it, and how did you change your life?
So what led up to my life, first and foremost, God. Right? I got to give Him all the glory. My mother passed away from AIDS while living in treatment. And I think I was 3 weeks off the methadone. And when she passed away, my best friend, my plan B, was removed out of the equation. I never had to be an adult. I never had to take care of myself. I lived with my mother. And when she was removed from the equation, God brought me closer to Him and showed me that my purpose was going to be in the 20 years of active addiction. I believe the darkness illuminates our path. I think we look back and we try to change our past. If we change our past, we'll lose the wisdom that we have today. What we went through, all things work together for good. What we went through, there's a message in there. That's why the name of my company is Inspired to Inspire, because we all have something inside of us that can inspire somebody on their journey. And that inspiration comes from overcoming our obstacles, getting through those trials and tribulations, getting that crown of life that we call wisdom, and then just sharing it with the next person. So it got to the point where I no longer wanted to exist. I wanted to be alive, and being alive means you got to feel and you got to experience. So and then just helping somebody like me get out of the darkness like somebody helped me.
What would you tell a person that's on drugs? How would you encourage them to stop using?
What I would say, because the stop using is going to have to be your choice. And until you make that a choice, the choice is never going to present itself. The drugs are a choice. The drugs are a decision. Saying it's not a choice, you're never going to be able to think you have the choice to overcome it. Do not believe you're powerless. The drug is powerless without you. If you don't pick up the drug, rob for the drug, steal for the drug, and use the drug does not have power over you. It only has power over you if you put it in you. But if I had to say something, your story lies in what you overcome, not what you've done. So if you're allowing the story or your past to overcome you, today take the opportunity to overcome that story. Start defining your story today. Be the architect of your story, because as long as you're waking up, you still have an opportunity to make your story what it wants to be. Because if you don't live your dream, you will become the greatest story to never be told. So please live your dream and please tell your story.
That's powerful right there. Anything I missed or you guys want to put out there now?
There's thousands and thousands of families across the United States that have lost a child or someone they love to fentanyl poisoning. There are moms like me, many friends I have, that are out there speaking to the Senate and having events, being as loud as they can across the United States and making a huge difference. Affected families have been a voice to illicit fentanyl for quite some time. And that's where we've seen change, is from these families. But I would ask that please don't wait till you're like us and have lost a child. Use your voice now. Walk with us. Save them before it's too late. The smallest action can make the biggest difference. You could tell one person, or you could raise 1 million billboards with warnings. But any act makes a difference. And please walk with us.
And I would like to thank Jimmy Lavender, co-founder of the Bishops. Mr. Lavender, who I like to call a piece of American history, actually got me the opportunity to be introduced to Kev Mac. So Kev Mac, Andrea, and I, thank you for this opportunity. And thank you for allowing us the opportunity to reach an audience that we probably wouldn't have been able to reach without you. I also want to give one more thanks to Brother Ja, who actually introduced me to Mr. Jimmy Lavender, who introduced me to Kev Mac. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to inspiring to inspire. Like we all are resources to each other, and we're keeping ourselves a secret from the world because of the things we've done. The things we did and who we are two different things. I did drugs. I was a horrible person. I was a menace to society. I ate out of garbage cans. I lived on a New York City subway system. Those are the things I did. If that made me who I was, I wouldn't be this person today. So don't make the things you did make you become who you are today. You still have an opportunity to change that. So we really greatly appreciate this opportunity, Kev.
I don't know. I've done some crazy things in my life, but knowingly taking fentanyl from the streets seems like would be a big deterrent to me.
A lot of people don't know they're taking it though, too.
I get that.
You know, but then there are some of us that are looking for it too, you know, because of the potency of it.
Well, and that's the perfect storm, right? Like you use one time, and if you make it out, you're addicted right then. And so then where do you go? There's no room for recovery with this drug in a lot of cases. It's killing the unsuspecting, the experimenting, and those that are seeking it.
Right. Yeah, that's sad. My condolences for your loss. Wow. I don't know what to say, but anything else you guys got, feel free.
I mean, awareness to create prevention. Yeah. Please get your information. Like I said, again, facingfentanylnow.org is the website. You can see all about our National Day. We have a petition to Joe Biden. The day has been endorsed by the DEA, so it's recognized. Like, this is a day of days. If you'd like to be a supporter, go to the website. It's free. You could just sign up. But stay on the information tip. If you want to get in contact with me, my social media, Instagram is Mike, M-I-K-E, Fiore, F-I-O-R-E 118. Whether you're addicted, have a family member addicted, or just want to get information, reach out to me. Andrea and I are very fortunate enough to have resources nationwide. So wherever you are listening to this, you're not too far. So we'll be able to help you. Please reach out.
I appreciate you guys for sharing your story, and thanks for coming.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.